Hello YouTube and welcome back. It's me, Fruit Guru. I hope you're all taking care of yourselves, and as always, I hope you're enjoying the grind. Today we're going to do another installment of our counting card series, the series where we take a look at each and every card in Ragnarok Labyrinth. We talk about how it works, what makes it good, what maybe makes it bad, and how we're going to use it. And today we have a card that is absolutely bonkers broken, and I know I like to throw this phrase around, but 9 times out of 10 it's prefaced with I thought it was going to be bonkers broken, but it actually turned out that I wasted my time trying to get it because it was kind of disappointing. This is not the case with this card. We are going to look at the 4-star Drainliar card. I'm sure that you've probably heard of it if you've done any research in the game at all, because this thing is just so popular. It is so meta. I think 99.99999% of builds use this thing, and yeah, I cannot overhype this. Like, it's just absolutely god tier. So we'll jump into it here. The reason why I'm actually discussing this card today as well is because we looked at the Lady Tani card, which originally, this is a 5-star card I covered yesterday, and yeah, I thought I was going to be able to get this card and not have to bother with Drainliar. How wrong I was. I could not have been more wrong. So if any of you were kind of thinking along that train of thought, poof, get that out of your head. Drainliar is absolutely god tier for what you're looking for there. So this is the card itself. We do have the magic attack base line here, and this is going to be a nice little chunk if you're magic attack based, but it's not going to be absolutely GG game breaking. It's a nice to have, but that's not what you're looking for in this card. And then the second line is going to be the bloody lust damage percentage. This is actually quite nice if you're an Assassin Cross and you use this. I mean, most of us aren't going to really care about this line because we're not going to be using Bloody Lust, but if you are, it's a little bonus there. It could be worse things on the card. But the third line, Drain Life on basic attack. This is what makes this card absolutely bonkers. This is the reason why everybody wants this card, and I have to admit I underestimated how strong this was until I started using it. I only got my Drainliar card this morning, and the difference that it makes, it's just absolutely crazy. So if we look at the stats again, I mean, I'm going to tell you basically from the off here, you don't need to worry about the magic attack roll. You know, the higher you get, obviously nicer, but it's not going to make that much of a difference in the long run. The Bloody Lust, maybe if you're a Bloody Lust build on Assassin, you might want to kind of have this a little bit higher, but again, it's not going to be the primary reason why you get this. And I think this is the first card where I'm going to say this, and there's probably going to be very few of these, but even the third line, cast the percentage to cast Drain Life, you don't have to really worry about this one either. As you can see, I've got a pretty crappy roll on this. I mean, obviously if it's going to be 0, it's a trash card, but I mean, 15% chance, I found that this is more than good enough. My card, you got to realize as well, is only level 1, so this will go up a little bit as well. And yeah, we'll talk about the actual skill itself, I guess, now. So Drain Life is here. Now, I am aware that I've spelled Drainliar wrong. I put an E instead of an A. This is a reused asset from yesterday's video when I was comparing the two, so apologies for that. But yeah, as you can see, it works with any weapon, so anybody can use this. It has a cooldown of 20 seconds, and this is what brings me back to the cast chance on the skill. It doesn't really matter if you don't have a big cast chance, because this isn't something that you're looking to proc constantly. It's not going to be something that's going to keep like regenerating your health. It's actually like a health nuke, and I'll talk about that in a second. The range 650 is alright, but if you look at these magic and physical modifiers, these are huge, okay? Because keep in mind, the gimmick of this is to heal you back up. The gimmick really isn't to be like a big damage thing, but here we have this card that specializes in sustain, but it also does massive damage comparatively. I mean, I have a Kazaa card that does Firebolt, and this thing hits twice as hard. This thing just absolutely smashes. I kind of expected that maybe, you know, I'd be in a situation where I kind of wouldn't want this to go off necessarily if I was pushing a boss, because, you know, it's a second or so less DPS. I have no problems with this proccing. This thing actually does damage. It carries its weight. It's really, really generous. The physical modifier a little bit lower, but I've looked at other kind of fizz-based classes. They still chunk with this. It's still fine. It's respectable enough that you don't worry about it like slowing you down. And the HP drain of 60%. Now, I wasn't actually really sure what to expect with this. I was was kind of trying to do like some mental gymnastics here. I couldn't really work it out, but let me give you an idea. I am a 109 job level clown right now. I am now intellect heavy, so obviously I get some good scaling, but I have just shy of 20,000 health, okay? This thing heals me for 30,000 health. It literally heals me for 150% of my total health pool. That is bonkers. That is absolutely crazy. All I need is this to proc once every now and again, and I am right back up to the top. And I actually want to do a comparison, like I did in yesterday's video, against Lady Tani, which has the recovery support. And I thought, Fruit Guru, I said, you probably don't need to get the Drainliar card. You're going to hold out for a Tani, you're going to save a bit of resources not bothering with the drain, you're going to get recovery support, and that's going to do the job. Wrong. Very wrong. And I know there's probably a few of you like me who might think this as well. Couldn't be further from the truth. The recovery support passive from the Tani card is garbage tier, right? I won't talk about all the modifiers or anything. You can look at the other video. You can see them there on the screen anyway. Has a higher cooldown. This thing, right now, I told you that my Drainliar in the current map is healing me for 30,000. Tani heals me for 450 on a good day. It's healed me for 250. It basically does nothing. And I'm at the point now where I actually cringe a little bit when I see this cast, because I could have been doing like more damage with something else. I'm getting nothing back. And I'm actually seriously considering, do I actually want to use Lady Tani in my builds? Because quite frankly, the only thing I am using that for now is the big chunk of cooldown reduction. And I am starting to wonder if maybe I actually need this card, if there's anything else I can replace it with, and I'm seriously considering the validity of it in the builds, right? So yeah, don't bother trying to hold out for Lady Tani if you see Drainliar. That's what you really want. So I'm actually going to take this disappointment away, and yeah, I mean, we'll talk a little bit more about the Drainliar card. So normally I would never recommend buying a card off the secret shop unless you are a spender. I think if there was ever a card to invest in, it's this one. I mean, you have to at least pick this off the Row Marketplace. The impact of this card with your time is basically, if you're on the content I'm on now, where you're essentially, you know, doing these kill 4,000 trash mobs. The trash mobs are a lot tankier. They actually start to hit. I don't have a huge amount of flee, so I take damage. And I found myself, for the last kind of few zones when I was doing these quests, having to babysit the game, having to click that revive button, and I was just actually getting a little bit of a pain. I couldn't really walk away or anything. With the Drainliar card, I can go to the bathroom, I can make a coffee, I can go to the shop, it doesn't matter. I can leave this and I will self-sustain, and I still might die the odd time, you know, it does happen, but it's very rare. And it just basically makes everything that little bit easier. So, I mean, this thing is a godsend. It's time efficient, it does good damage, it heals you back up to full nearly, depending on what you're playing. It's just all around bonkers broken, and I'm not exaggerating, it is that good. I think when you have a card that is almost like best in slot for nearly every build, and it's one of the best weapon slot cards to fill out, because it does go in the weapon, and there are nice things that can go in there, but I just think this thing is like, I feel like you could even nerf this down to 50% efficiency and it would still be worth doing, and there's not a lot of and there's not a lot of cards you can say that about. I mean, a lot of cards would be absolutely gutted and crippled if you did that. This card, no. I mean, this thing could deal half the damage, it could heal half the health, and it would still be worth using. That is how good this card is. So make this a priority to get on your accounts. By all means, don't sleep on this one. If you listen to anything I say, I don't always get it right, I know that, sometimes I get things wrong, but this thing, I mean, it's meta for a reason, right? There's a reason why these are in high demand. So yeah, to sum it up, don't even worry about the stats on it. It doesn't really matter. As long as you have like say 15, I'd say maybe mine is probably the bare minimum roll I'd take on it, but I'd still take it. Like, I wouldn't pass up on it. So yeah, grab yourself one of these if you haven't. It's going to make your life a hell of a lot easier. Cannot stress that enough. Thank you for watching as always. Hope this has been helpful. Take care and good luck in your killing. Bye.